Well, very good afternoon and welcome to Wilder Park as we get set for baseball action this afternoon between West Texas A&M University and St. Mary's University. Game 2 of this 4-game set. For the Buffaloes, they won yesterday's contest 16-10 as both teams were bashing it out with the wind blowing out here at Wilder Park yesterday. 3 home runs, 2 by Ryan Johnson for the Buffaloes, 1 by Clay Bradford for St. Mary's. But the Buffaloes won that one by a count of 16-10, and they improved to 27-12 overall, 25-12 in the LSC, while St. Mary's fell to 17-22, 15-22 in the LSC. The lineup cards are being exchanged at home plate as we get set for game number 2 of this series. This will be the first of 2 today between these two. And so, again, this will be a 7-inning affair as both teams come out under sun-splashed afternoon. It is a much cooler day than yesterday, about 84 degrees yesterday. Today it's 65, wind out of the northeast at 15. And so with the wind blowing in, that means WT has changed their lineup for today. More of a defensive lineup for the Buffaloes as they've moved Mike Mineta from shortstop over to second base. Eddie Savoy is playing at first, and then Kix Farrell will be at the shortstop position. Also, Paul Whitman will be in center field. Very speedy, good speed out in center field, so he'll play out there as well. And so that's some of the defensive changes. And, of course, Evan Leibel, the better defensive catcher for the Buffaloes, and also getting much better at the plate as of late. And so he will be the catcher for the Buffaloes in this one today. For the Rattlers, John Curtis will go to the hill. John comes in with a 2-4 record on the season. He has a 4.69 earned run average. He has started 9 games. This will be his 10th start and also his 10th appearance this season. He has 1 complete game. He has pitched 48 innings for the Rattlers. He has allowed 48 hits, 31 runs, 25 of those earned. He's walked 19. He's struck out 35. Teams are batting .274 against him this season. And he'll be going head-to-head with Reese Miller. Reese Miller, of course, the Lone Star Conference Pitcher of the Week last week for a complete game that he received when he played over in Oklahoma. Reese Miller, the junior, 5.31 earned run average, a 4-2 record. He's appeared in 11 contests this season, so this will be his 12th. He has started 4. He has 1 complete game. He's pitched 42 1/3 innings. He has allowed 41 hits, 27 runs, 25 of those earned. He's walked 12, struck out 57, and has a 2.50 batting average that he gives up per contest per batter. And so the lineup for St. Mary's is very similar to yesterday's. They made a couple of changes to the lower part of their batting order for today, but for the most part it's the same lineup as yesterday. And as mentioned, for the Buffaloes, they've changed things up and it's more of a defensive lineup. And so again, with the wind blowing in, we don't expect a lot to be hit out in the ballpark today, so a lot of singles and doubles will take place in this one this afternoon. For both teams, again, still an important conference game as we look at what the conference standings look like right now. Again, yesterday, of course, Angelo took that loss, and so too did UT Tyler. The Buffs sit in 4th right now, and then Lubbock Christian right behind them in 5th. Texas A&M Kingsville, who had the victory yesterday, they move up a game. Eastern New Mexico with a big win yesterday as well. They sit in the 7th spot, and St. Mary's still in the 8th spot. But UT Permian Basin is right on their heels, and they had a win yesterday as well. And so they had a win. St. Mary's had a loss. And so this series today, of course, very important for both clubs, but in particular for the Rattlers as they try to hold on to that 8th playoff spot. And again, there's 3. So this is the 3 series left to go for the Buffaloes as they finish this series. And then next week they'll travel down to Lubbock to take on Lubbock Christian. And then their home final series will be against the number 1 team or number 2 team in the country, whichever poll you look at, Angelo. as Angelo will come in for the final series here against West Texas in Canyon, Texas. Good afternoon. Again, wind is the only problem, and usually the wind's blowing out, but today it is blowing in, so that'll make things interesting in this contest today. For St. Mary's, it'll be Jake Morris to lead things off, followed by Jacob King. Clay Bradford will bat third. Brandon Broughton will be the first baseman. He'll bat fourth. Easton Parrish is fifth. Rudy Solis, the third baseman, bats sixth. Jake Elizondo, the second baseman, will bat seventh. The DH for today is Ryan Romaine. And then Ryan McGowan, who's playing center field. He pitch hit yesterday and then moved into center field late in the contest yesterday, but Ryan McGowan will bat, the senior will bat ninth. For the Buffaloes, Mike Mineta will lead things off, followed by Ryan Johnson, Adam Becker, and Will Finning. Of course, Adam Becker leading a ton of categories in the LSC as far as hitting. He sits atop the league with that .457 batting average. But the interesting thing, a lot of Buffaloes are in the top 30 for the league, so that means, of course, they have some strong hitting in this one as well. After Will Finning will be Eddie Savoy hitting in the 5 spot, playing first base today. Evan Leibold, the catcher, will bat 6th. Paul Whitman in center field will bat 7th. Glenn Nerona, who pitch hit yesterday, will be the DH for today. And Kix Farrell, the shortstop, will bat 9th. This is the first of 2 for today, and so we have a pleasure of bringing it to you right here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. And before we get things underway, we'll take this time out. You'll be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Bucks!
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
And there you see Old Faithful as the flag blowing in here today. That means the wind is blowing in. Again, northeast 19, gusting to 30, and so we'll have big gusts today blowing into the batter's face, and so that'll make things a little different at the plate for them offensively, for both teams offensively. Doug McClure will be the home plate umpire of today's contest. Greg Moore, who was behind the dish yesterday, moves over to first base, and Michael Moore will be at third base. And the Buffaloes presenting a commemorative jersey to, I believe it's Edward Jones, an agent who helps support Buff baseball, and so a nice plaque is being delivered to him today for his agency, Edward Jones Agency, doing Dan Schumann is the sponsor for today's game, and so good crowd on hand for this one. A bit cooler than yesterday, so if you've been out in the elements today in the Texas Panhandle, then you know you need a jacket or maybe even a little thicker covering to battle this wind out of the northeast. Out of the northeast today. And so that makes things interesting. Reese Miller will be on the hill for the Buffaloes. Again, the junior, the pitcher of the week in the LSC. Reese comes in from Dayton, Texas, and Hill College. He is 6'2", 205-pound junior as he gets his final warm-up tosses in. 4-2 is his record on the season, a 5.31 earned run average. This will be his fifth starting assignment for the Buffaloes this year, but he's appeared in 11 games, so he has one complete game. 42 and a third innings. He has allowed 41 hits, 27 runs, 25 of those earned. He's walked 12. He's struck out 57, one of the tops in the league in strikeout, and as a 2.50 batting average against. And so he gets set to face the lineup today coming to him from St. Mary's. And like I said, it'll be very similar to yesterday. Jake Morris will lead things off, followed by Jacob King and Clay Bradford. They're the 1-2-3s in the lineup for St. Mary's. Jake Morris will come up with a .356 batting average. This will be his 40th game to start this season for the Rattlers. Again, they come in with a record of 17 and 22 overall, 15 and 22 in the LSC. So he started every ball game this season for the Rattlers. Be followed by Jacob King. This will be his 36th start of the season. His 33rd start of the season, his 36th game to appear in. Then Clay Bradford, and then Brandon Broughton, who line up the first four for the Rattlers in their road blue tops, white pants. Buffaloes in their home maroon uniforms with black numerals. And the first pitch in there from Reese Miller is a strike to Jacob Morris. Morris comes in with that .356 batting average. He has 52 hits on the season from the leadoff spot. Check swing, strike on the outside corner, so he's down in the count 0-2. Jacob has 7 doubles. Jake has 7 doubles, 2 home runs, and he's driven in 19 this season, but he has an on-base percentage of .463. So the shortstop looks at a check swing outside for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of course, Jake Morris is a graduate student from Fort Worth, batting from the right side. Pops this one up, fouling out of play down the right field line. And again, with the wind blowing that way, a lot of things hit in the air in right field will go that way. So Reese Miller got him swinging for strike 3. He tried to hold back but couldn't, so gets a strikeout to start off the ball game. So for Reese Miller, that is his 58th strikeout of the season. Again, Morris tried to hold back but just couldn't, pulled the trigger, and he was going to be rung up anyway. That'll bring up Jacob King, the freshman left fielder. Sends the first pitch over the middle. Mineta comes up throwing in time to first. Savoy stretches out and pulls that one in. Nice play defensively by Mike Mineta and by Eddie Savoy at first base, as Jacob King is retired 4-3 for out number 2. And watch this. Again, just a great stretch by Eddie Savoy as he pulls that one in on the throw. Mineta was going to his right, so he had to jump in the air to throw over to first base to get anything on that. And, of course, Mike, as that pitch is inside for a ball to Clay Bradford. Mike yesterday, even critical of himself, he did have 3 errors playing short yesterday. The Buffs still won that contest 16-10, but he was very critical of his performance, even though he had a phenomenal offensive game. That's a foul ball down the first baseline. So Clay Bradford has a 1-1 count. Bradford, the junior from Estacosita, Texas, played at Temple Junior College. Looks at a pitch outside, just misses for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Bradford batting .410 on the season, best batting average on the club. This is his 145th plate appearance. He has 59 hits this season. Got good power with 9 doubles, 3 triples, 9 home runs, driven in 40. Batting in the 3 spot, Bradford with a 3-1 count. And that one's in there for a strike. Good curveball from Reese Miller. And again, they really like how Reese has come on of late. Very dependable. Got him swinging for a foul ball. You can see Reese talking to himself out there. He wanted that to turn over a little more than it did. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here at the top of the first. Miller toes the rubber. Looks in at his catcher, Evan Leibel, then comes home with it. Got him swinging for strike 3. Nice breaking ball. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Reese Miller. And for the Buffaloes, as you see the strikeout there of Clay Bradford, no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody on base for the Rattlers as the Buffaloes coming to the plate here in the first inning. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie side,
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
LSU fans out for this one. Again, trying to enjoy the sunshine. A little cooler than yesterday, so the jackets are appropriate. No score here as we go to the bottom of the first inning, as it will be Mike Mineta to lead things off for the Buffaloes. Again, got a chance to talk with the senior finance major yesterday after he came through for the Buffaloes with 4 RBIs in that contest, had 5 hits, and just a solid performance in the ball game. He scored 4 runs for the Buffs as well. And that leadoff spot, and he said it yesterday as he gets set for his first pitch offering. Shows bunt, pulls it back. That'll be ball 1. Facing John Curtis, the ace pitcher for St. Mary's. Mike said, with 2 All-Americans behind me, all I got to do is get on the base and let them take care of everything else. And first pitch swinging towards the first baseman. Broughton has it and steps on the bag, so Mike is retired 3 unassisted for out number 1. That'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Ryan batting .367. He had back-to-back home runs yesterday. Drove in 6 runs for the Buffaloes. Had a fantastic ball game. As yesterday, Ryan was 3 for 5 at the plate. He also was hit by a pitch and scored a run. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. So a 1-1 count on the left fielder for the Buffaloes. Johnson pitches low, off speed. John Curtis, he also is a graduate student. That's hit toward the shortstop, coming up throwing in time for the putout, and Johnson is retired 6-3 on a nice play by Jake Morris for out number 2. Curtis, 6'2", 190-pound graduate student from Athens, Tennessee. Played at Rollins College before coming over to St. Mary's. Now facing Adam Becker. First pitch for the Midland senior is outside for a ball. Becker, 457 top batting average in the LSC. His 165th plate appearance. That one comes inside and low for a ball. So Becker heading the count 2-0. Becker, a couple of hits yesterday. First couple of at-bats, he was kind of stymied a little bit. Sends this one high, pop up out to center field. Coming on is Ryan McGowan. And he'll circle underneath and pull that one, fighting off the wind. And so Becker is retired on a fly out to center for out number 3. So, same for the Buffaloes. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody on base. We have played inning number 1, and we're scoreless between the Rattlers and the Buffaloes. We'll take a timeout and be back with the top of the second after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Delicious, refreshing, Pepsi.
We know that egg producers don't quit at 5 p.m. We don't quit until the job's done either. Bankers' hours don't apply at First United Bank because we believe egg lending isn't a 9-to-5 job. While you're out working the fields or managing the herd, we're making sure your money is working too. Whether it's for livestock, land, or equipment, we're one of the most dominant egg lenders in the state and have been burning the midnight oil since 1907. First United Bank. We know ag lending. We know ag.
I see the Buffaloes as they watch what their defense is about to try and do against the Rattlers offense, as the Rattlers will send 4, 5, and 6 to the plate. Brandon Brown, the first baseman, will lead things off, followed by Easton Parrish, their catcher, and then Rudy Solis. 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order, facing Reese Miller. First pitch from Reese is going to be low for a ball. Brown batting .339, his 113th plate appearance. He has 38 hits. He has 9 doubles, 2 triples, 6 home runs, and he has driven in 36 this season. Has a slugging percentage of .616. And looks at another pitch low. He's ahead in the count 3-0. Miller trying to get that definition of the knee area where the umpire is going to call it. That one was right there for a strike. So 3 balls and a strike to Brandon Brown. Brown batting from the right side. Settles in, ready to go. 6'1" senior from Corpus Christi takes a free pass to first base. So first walk of the ball game given up by either pitcher. So that brings up Easton Parrish. Easton batting .300 this season. He had a good day at the plate yesterday. Junior. Batting from the left side. Sends this one a base hit out into left field. Ryan Johnson comes up throwing. Gets it back to second base quickly. So Parrish with a single has runners at first and second. That'll bring up Rudy Solis. Solis, the senior from El Paso, playing at third base as he did yesterday. First pitch is in there for a strike. So 2 aboard for the Rattlers here in the top of the second. And Reese again gets set. Bunt shown by Solis. That one's going to be fouled off at the plate, so that'll be a strike. So no 2 count on Solis. Miller checks the wristband, and then on the last pitch, he signaled in. They signal in 3 numbers to Evan Leibel, the catcher, just to make sure they're both on the same page when they switch their pitch count. That one breaking ball inside, misses for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. So apparently the scoreboard there, they changed it. The scoreboard had it as 1 ball, or 2 balls, 2 strikes, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one hits Solis. Miller just let that one go. So the first hit batsman as well for Miller. So that loads the bases for Jake Elizondo. So Elizondo comes up. Jake batting .255. This is his 111th plate appearance. The junior takes a swing, comes up empty. Elizondo from San Antonio, played at Temple Junior College. 5'9", 165-pound junior, ready to go. That's in there for ball. Looked like a good pitch. So 1-1 count on Elizondo. Fouls that one off at the plate. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ryan Romaine, the DH, in the on-deck circle. Elizondo close to the plate, especially with that back foot. Has it as close as he can get. Fouls this one off at the plate. New baseballs for the umpire. Now he's ready. Runners take their lead. That's fouled off at the plate. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Elizondo battling at the plate. Trying to make something happen here for St. Mary's with bases loaded, no outs. Here in the top of the second. Sends this one a line shot out into right field. Fenning comes up throwing and sends that one in. So 1 run comes across on the base hit by Jake Elizondo. Keeps the bases full. And St. Mary's leads 1-0. Second hit given up by Reese Miller, excuse me. They bring the Ryan Romaine, comes inside with a fastball for ball 1. Romaine hitting .400 on the season. This is his 6th at bat, though. Looks at a strike. 1-1 the count. Romaine, a freshman from San Antonio, takes a swing and comes up empty. So he's down in the count 1-2. Romaine batting from the right side. Outside corner got him for strike 3. So there's the first out and the 3rd strikeout for Reese Miller. And again, just a nice delivery. Got it on the outside corner. The freshman just looked for something else. And that'll bring up Ryan McGowan. McGowan wearing number 9 today. Yesterday he wore number 8. Playing center field. He was a pitch hitter yesterday. McGowan struck out and singled in his. He had 2 singles and struck out in his 2 or 3 plate appearances yesterday. Looks at strike 1. McGowan batting .233, his 117th plate appearance. So he's up a bunch. Sends this one foul down the third base line. So an 0-2 count on the senior from San Antonio. He's a 5th-year senior, so again, graduate student. McGowan from the right side sends this one out to left field for a base hit. 1-1 will come home. They're going to send 2 runs home. Ryan Johnson gets the throw in, but not before 2 more runs come across. So Reese Miller down in the hole 3-0 now here in the top of the second. Credit Ryan McGowan with a solid single out to right field. So we go to the top of the order, and this is Jake Maris. Maris struck out his first at-bat. Comes in with a strike, good breaking ball. This is going to be sent to Mineta on to second in time for 1. Kicks Farrell, relays to first, so they get the double play. And so McGowan is out on a 4-6-3 double play. You watch this, nice play by Mineta as he brings this one up into his glove and then tosses over to second base. Kicks Farrell, comes up throwing on to Eddie Savoy at first for the 4-6-3 DP. So that is out number 3. 7 batters go to the plate, though, and 3 runs come across for St. Mary's as they do that on 3 hits. There were no errors in the inning and 2 left on base. We have played 1.5. St. Mary's has the 3-0 lead. We'll take a timeout. Be back for the bottom of the second after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Well, St. Mary's takes the early lead 3-0. 3 runs on 3 hits there in the second inning as they stand ready to watch what their defense does. Will Fenning will lead things off for the Buffaloes, followed by Eddie Savoy and Evan Leibel. Will Fenning looks at ball 1. Coming in with a .373 batting. He had a great day at the plate yesterday. Multiple players. Takes a swing at this one and comes up empty. Will with his 127th plate appearance, a .373 average. He has 47 hits, 13 doubles, 2 triples, and 5 home runs. He's driven in 37. Looks at a ball there. So 2 balls and a strike. Will settles in. Sends this one out in the air into center field, and Ryan McGowan gets underneath that one and pulls it in on a fly out to center field for back-to-back outs to Ryan McGowan. That's the first for the Buffs here in the second. That's how they ended the first. Adam Becker loaded one out to McGowan. So that'll bring up Eddie Savoy. And Eddie Savoy comes to the plate. First baseman today, batting .266. His 129th plate appearance for the junior from Montreal, Quebec. Batting from the right side, Savoy sends this one out into right field. Giving chase is Clay Bradford, and he'll settle underneath. And so the fly out to right field for out number 2. And so quickly 2 outs for the Buffaloes. And that'll bring Evan Leibel to the plate. Leibel looks at a pitch low. Evan, the junior from Los Alamitos, California, transferred here from University of Oklahoma. He's batting .289. Sends this one a hot shot to the second baseman, who backhands it and is able to pick it up and throw it over. They were playing him to pull that way. So Leibel is retired 4-3. So a quickly 1-2-3 inning again for the Buffaloes. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody on base. St. Mary's with a 3-0 lead will go to the top of the third. We'll be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
We live where wide open roads lead to wide open spaces, where life is lived a different kind of way. We believe that generosity should always be given, but loyalty can only be earned. Community is sacred. Integrity is learned. We believe in going the extra mile, whether it's time to work or it's time to play. But most important, we believe in doing the right thing, always.
One West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign, raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
Well, the wind's still blowing in from the northeast, and so that's blowing into the batters. And St. Mary's has taken advantage of that today with 3 hits that have produced 3 runs. They lead it 3-0. Here's we go to the top of the third for Reese Miller. He will face the 2, 3, and 4 batters in the lineup for the Rattlers. Jacob King will lead things off, who grounded out to Mike Mineta back in the first inning, followed by Clay Bradford and then Brandon Broughton. First pitch swinging for King is a strike. King, the freshman from San Antonio Reagan High School, sends this one back to Mineta once again on 2 hops, comes up throwing in time for the 4-3 put out for out number 1. And that'll bring up the hard-hitting right fielder Clay Bradford. Bradford, 6'4", 190-pound junior, batting from the left side. Struck out his first at-bat. Shows bunt. Got out of the way. That one came in tight. So ball 1 for Bradford. Saw that Adam Becker was playing back, so he showed the bunt sign to bring him into the grass in front of third base just a little bit. Looks at a pitch outside for ball 2. Bradford with 59 hits this season. Sends this one down to first base on 1 hop. Savoy picks it up and steps on the bag. So Bradford is retired 3 unassisted. Nice play defensively by Eddie Savoy. And again, we said that the Buffaloes had set up their defense because of the wind blowing in this ball game. Yeah, Paul Whitman in center field, good speed, extremely good speed. Kix Farrell is the shortstop, and Mike Mineta over at second base, and Savoy goes from second to first. Here's a little wrapper, hit out to Mineta, who had shifted over in time for the putout. So Broughton is retired 4-3 for out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning once again for Reese Miller. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody on base. We have played 2.5, and the Buffs trail the Rattlers 3-0. We'll take a timeout, be back for the bottom of the third after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train long, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, again, welcome back to Wilder Park. A good afternoon to watch college baseball. The fans in the stands kind of staying huddled up a little bit because it was 65 for our game time temp when we started this one today. It'll still only be in the upper 60s by the time we get a couple hours down the road. With the wind blowing in from the northeast, it makes it feel a little cooler than what it is. Paul Whitman will lead things off. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 batters for the Buffaloes, followed by Glenn Narona and Kix Farrell. And Whitman looks at a strike. Paul, the sophomore from Germany. Off-speed pitch is way outside for a ball. Paul batting .095, so the batting average has suffered this season. Sends that one down the third base line and foul. Whitman, his 22nd plate appearance. He has 2 hits on the season, looking for that third one. And the Buffs are looking for their first hit in this game against John Curtis. And that one is to the third baseman on one hop, over in time to first, barely in time. Nice job by Whitman getting down the line, but he's retired 5-3 for out number 1. A little bit of speed at the bottom of the order today, Glenn Narona, as he will be the next batter as the DH today. Narona, the sophomore, who has his 6th plate appearance, and this one's popped up and out to, he tried to bunt, but he popped it up to John Curtis, so he is out quickly for out number 2. Tried to bunt his way on with his speed as well. Narona, the sophomore from Ontario. That'll bring up the senior Kix Farrell from Memphis, Texas, right down the road. Kix looks at a ball. Farrell batting .267 on the season, his 16th plate appearance. So again, the bottom third of the order, more for speed as he looks at a strike. Speed and, of course, defensive abilities for both Whitman and Farrell. Kix a very, very good shortstop. Looks at a pitch low for a ball. The senior, who has 4 hits on the season, but he's walked 3 times. And this is a slow roller, hit to third and in time for the play as Rudy Solis throws a kicks Farrell out, 5-3. So another 1-2-3 inning, and that's how it's been for John Curtis. He has yet to give up a hit in this contest. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody on base as of yet for the Buffaloes. We go to the fourth. Buffs trail 3-0. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to MediDrive Pharmacy. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to console you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly professional service and the highest quality of medicine and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your healthcare needs.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Well, we get set for the top of the fourth inning with the Rattlers leading this one 3-0, 3 runs on 3 hits, all in the second inning. For Reese Miller, it's been feast or famine, as in the first inning it was a 1-2-3, up, down to 2 strikeouts. In the second inning, he gave up 3 runs on 3 hits, and then a 1-2-3 inning in the third. So facing Easton Parrish here. Parrish fouls this one off and out of play. That runs the count to 1-1. Again, St. Mary's trying to stay in that 8th spot in the playoff chase. The Buffs in the 4th spot. Here's a shot to Mineta at second base. Underhands over to Eddie Savoy for the putout. So Parrish is retired. 4-3 for out number 1. And Mineta, I know, is working on his defense a little bit from the standpoint that he gave up 3 errors yesterday. And Pat Vandenberg talked about it after the game, that's something we got to clean up. We can't allow them extra bats because of errors. That's a ball to to Rudy Solis. Solis, who was hit by a pitch, his last at bat. Takes a swing and comes up empty. But Coach Vandenberg was talking about that, Mike knows to make those adjustments and will. He loves the steady play of the senior from Farmingdale, New York. That one's outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike for Solis. Rudy batting from the right side, the senior. Fouls this one off at the plate, so that evens the count at 2-2. Solis batting .342. His 38 hits on the season. Pitches outside for a ball. So that runs the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's where it was before. This is hit to Becker on 2 hops. Becker comes up throwing over to Savoy. And so Solis is retired by his counterpart, 5-3 for out number 2. They'll bring up Jake Elizondo, the second baseman for the Rattlers. Elizondo, the junior, batting .261. Got a single his last at bat. Drove in a run. Shows bunt. They're saying, did he go? And the first base umpire says, no, he did not. So ball 1 for Elizondo. Got him swinging on a great curveball. So that evens the count at 1-1, and that one just, I mean, it looked like it was coming on in his hands and then just broke away desperately. Fastball, he's swinging on that one, so he's down in the count 1-2. So Elizondo settles back in, open stance, and got him strike three, and he knew it. So 1-2-3 inning that time as well for Reese Miller, his fourth strikeout, as the Buffaloes able to get out of that. And again, you can just see Miller just painted the outside corner. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody on base. We have played 3.5. And it's the Rattlers of St. Mary's in front 3-0. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
For a onside kick, landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having the access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
Some fun times, some guys playing over in the grass, and father-son playing pitch and catch. That's always fun. Mike Mineta to lead things off, and Mike looks at a strike for his first offering from John Curtis. Curtis has faced the minimum number of batters so far. He has been able to get a 1-2-3 inning in each of the first 3 innings. And check swing is low for a ball. Mineta, the senior finance major, battling from the left side. Fouled off at the plate. So that runs the count to 1-2. Some other scores from around the area. Oklahoma Christian and Eastern are at 6-6, knotted up at 6 in the 6th inning, while UT Tyler leads Western New Mexico in softball 6-0. Angelo State and Kingsville are scoreless. That's in the 4th inning right now, down in Kingsville. Some scores from other games in the LSC. Pitches inside for a ball. Runs the count to 2-2. Mineta loves the leadoff spot. He says, I just try to be patient, take a look at a lot of pitches, and then try to get on. This is out to left field. Giving chase is Jacob King. Settles underneath and pulls that one in for an out. So Mike flies out to left field for out number 1. Buffalo's batting their second time through the order, facing John Curtis. And Curtis, who's dropped his ERA down to 4.38 right now. He came into this one with a 4.69 earned run average. Throws a strike on the outside corner to Ryan Johnson, who grounded out his first at bat. Ryan batting .365. Drives this one down the left field line, but fouling out of play. Johnson checks back with the umpire to make sure that was a strike. So an 0-2 count for Ryan. Fouls this one off at the plate, keeps his at-bat alive. Off-speed pitch, he had to hold the bat back in order to swing on that one. Curtis comes home with it, outside for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to the senior from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Johnson, who leads the league in getting hit by pitches, had one yesterday. That was his 26th. Drives this one down the left field line, and that one, curbing foul. Man, that one was hugging the line and then just kind of started to curve. Keeps the count at 1-2. Again, wind blowing in, so it makes anything in the air kind of held up as well. Slow roller to third. That's foul. New baseballs for home plate umpire Doug McClure. This one's popped up down the first base line, and giving chase is Brandon Broughton. And that one, as Jake Elizondo tried to find it, it was just swirling around in the wind. Tough play for both Broughton and Elizondo. Nice effort. But turns into a foul. So still a 1-2 count for the senior from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Settles in, batting from the right side. Sends this one, sharp shot over to short. Coming up throwing is Mares, and he overthrows first base. And that one goes in the dugout. So a little award, Ryan, second base. So the first hit of the ball game for the Buffaloes. And that sends Ryan over to second base on the air, on the throwing air. So that'll be an E6. But it was one of those that Mars had to go in the hole and knew he had to throw quickly. So that brings Adam Becker to the plate, who flew out to center field his last at bat. Looks at a pitch outside for a ball. Again, Becker is one of those patient hitters. Very rarely is he first pitch swinging. Likes to look at 2 or 3. Curtis checks the runner at second, then comes home with it. It's fouled off. So that evens the count at 1-1. So Becker settles back in as the wind picks up. Now more out of the northwest. So that means it's kind of flying out to right center field. This is a hard shot for a base hit. And so Adam Becker, back-to-back hits, has runners at the corner for the Buffaloes. That's what good hitters do. They adjust. And again, your All-Americans, Ryan Johnson, Adam Becker, they just adjust after they got put out in the first inning. So they adjust here, facing John Curtis for the second time. And then to bring up Will Finning, who flew out to center field his last at bat in the second. Finning settles in, looks at a strike. Finning, the senior from Scottsdale, Arizona, finance major. He's actually a graduate student. He's working on his master's. Sends this one over the shortstop head, so a run will come home for the Buffaloes. And motoring around second, here's the throw into second base as Finning slides in there safely with a double. And so Will Finning with an RBI double. So the Buffs kind of get the offense going here. Again, nice solid wrap over the shortstop head. And Ryan Johnson came home to score. And Adam Becker was just motoring around second to get to third. So Eddie Savoy comes up. And the Buffs trail 3-1 now here in the top of the fourth. Off-speed pitch is outside for a ball. Savoy batting from the right side. Inside and low for ball 2. Savoy walked twice yesterday's contest. Savoy on the season has 21 walks. 2 of those came in yesterday's game. Here's a shot towards the shortstop. Comes up throwing. In time to first, but Savoy does drive in another run as Adam Becker comes home to make it 3-2. So Savoy gets the RBI as he drives that one to the shortstop for, that's out number 1 as he's retired 6-3. And that'll bring up Evan Leibel. Leibel, who grounded out to second base his first at bat, but that was a hard shot. And so they don't have the shift on like they did before because of Will Fenning at second base. But back deep in the hole is the second baseman, Jake Elizondo. So 1-1 count for Leibel as he swings at that one. Good off-speed pitch from Curtis. That one's in there for a strike. Evans settles in, batting from the left side, outside for a ball. So that evens the count at 2-2. Paul Whitman in the on-deck circle. Savoy settles in, or check it. Leibel settles in from the left side. Pops this one up high out into shallow left field. And the shortstop fighting the wind, able to come in and pull that one in for out number 3 as Leibel pops up to the shortstop. But the Buffaloes do get 2 runs on, they're saying now 2 hits. There was an error in the inning, so they're going to say that Ryan Johnson's single and then his advancement to second base on the throwing error, but nevertheless, that's going to be an E6. So 2 runs on 2 hits. There was an error and 1 left on base. We have played 4 complete, 3-2. St. Mary's with the lead over the Buffaloes. They're coming to the plate. We'll have that for you when we come back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
One West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign, raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, Reese Miller's out for his 4th inning of work. Or check it, his 5th inning of work. This game's going by quicker than what I'm giving credit for. And he'll face the 8, 9, and 1 batters in the lineup for the Rattlers. Ryan Romaine with a DH who struck out his last at bat, looks at strike 1. So it'll be Romaine, McGowan, and then Morris. Freshman looks at a pitch low for a ball, so that evens the count of 1-1. Batting from the right side, stays close to the plate. That pitch breaks inside and misses for a ball, so 2 balls and a strike. Romaine takes a swing and an off-speed pitch and way out in front. That evens the count at 2-2. Reese Miller comes home with it, and this one's up the middle for a base hit. So Romaine gets his first single of the ball game and his third hit of the season as he gets aboard. That'll bring up Ryan McGowan, who singled his last at bat. McGowan batting .239, 1 for 1 at the plate. Also drove in 2 runs when the bases were loaded. Shows bunt. Pulls the bat back, so that turns into a ball. 1-0 the count. Sun comes back out from the clouds. It's clouded up quite a bit here at Wilder Park in Canyon, Texas. Quick throw to first as Romaine is back. Ryan is yet to steal a base, although this looks like he's trying to get his first theft of the year. Bunt shown, and that is going to be touched as Evan Leibel tried to grab it, but he was going in the wrong direction. And so a single for Ryan McGowan. And you see here he kind of had a backspin on it. It was a tough play for both Evan Leibel and Adam Becker. So 2 aboard with no outs here. We go to the top of the order. Jake Morris, who was struck out and grounded out. He throws down a bunt. And he'll be safe at first base as Reese Miller's pitch is high. So small ball working here for the Rattlers as they load the bases. That'll bring up Jacob King, who's 0 for 2. He is grounded out to Mike Mineta twice here today. Miller comes home, shows bunt. That's in there for a strike. King shows bunt again. And that's a strike. He offered up, so he's down in the count 0-2. So King settles back in, batting from the right side. See if this is an off-speed pitch. Got him swinging for strike 3. So that is the 5th strikeout for Reese Miller. And again, just kind of anticipated that being off-speed as he tried to hold the bat back, but just couldn't do it. So that's out number 1. And we have Clay Bradford. In this situation, ideal for Clay. Again, he has 40 runs that he's driven in this season, by far ahead of Brandon Broughton, who has 36, and then everybody else for St. Mary's. So the big stick, Clay Bradford, looks at strike 1. Bradford batting from the left side. Miller comes home with it, just misses outside for a ball. Bradford settles in. That's in there for a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brendan Broughton in the on-deck circle. Bradford ready. And swings. And that's the strikeout for a nice off-speed pitch. Back-to-back strikeouts. And so with bases loaded, that's 2 strikeouts for Reese Miller. And again, just off speed. You can see the bottom just drops out of that pitch. Bradford couldn't hold the bat back long enough. Broughton comes up. He grounded out his last at bat. Brandon looks at a ball for the first pitch from Reese Miller. Takes a cut, and that one's fouled off at the plate off of Evan Leibel. So he'll walk around and get some feeling back in his chest. So Evan works his way back into the catcher's position there after getting smacked with that foul ball. So 1-1 count on the first baseman for St. Mary's, and he pops this one up, and that's in shallow center field, and Paul Whitman comes up and gloves it, and so Reese Miller gets out of a jam as he gets Brown to fly out to center field for out number 3. No runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 3 left on base. We have played 4.5. And it's a 3-2 game in favor of the Rattlers. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Suddenlink is now Optimum with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
You see some fans enjoying the sunshine and relaxing, enjoying college baseball here on the campus of West Texas A&M University. 3-2 our score. St. Mary's scored 3 runs on 3 hits in the second. The Buffs were able to get 2 runs on 2 hits in the fourth. That's where we stand right now. St. Mary's had the bases loaded in the top of the 5th, but Reese Miller bared down and got a couple of strikeouts. And then got their number 4 cleanup batter, Broughton, to fly out to center field for round number 3. So got out of a jam. So it'll be 7, 8, and 9 for the Buffaloes. Paul Whitman to lead things off here in the 5th. First pitch is in there for a strike. Good off-speed pitch. It'll be Paul Whitman, Glenn Nerona, and Kix Farrell. That one's inside corner for a strike. Paul thought that was a little more inside than what it looked like to him. So he's down in the count 0-2. Paul, who grounded out to third base his last at bat. Pitch is way inside for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Paul settles in. Fouls this one off at the plate. Three to 2 our score here in the bottom of the 5th. That's outside for a ball. So 2-2. Paul able to fight back and even the count up. Drives this one to first base on 2 hops, and Brown comes up with it. And so Whitman is retired. 3 unassisted for out number 1. That'll bring up Glenn Nerona. Nerona, the sophomore from Calgary, popped up to the pitcher. He was trying to bunt his way on, but popped it up in the air, and John Curtis able to record that out. Curtis, who working here in the 5th, has allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. That pitch is high for a ball. So 2-0 count for Glenn. In the DH spot, one of the first times this season for Glenn. It is inside corner for a strike. Glenn batting from the left side. John Curtis, the ace for St. Mary's. Got a nice off-speed pitch and Narono out in front of it, so he evens the count at 2-2. Narono. Set a pitch outside for a ball. So he runs the count full, 3-2. Narono trying to get aboard. He's got great speed, too. He and Whitman both can fly. And sends this one out into shallow center field, and that one coming on to pull that one in is Ryan McGowan. So Narono flies out to center for out number 2. That'll bring up Kix Farrell. So Farrell will settle in, batting from the right side. He grounded out to third his last at bat. They're checking, and they did say he went around. That's the first time I've seen that in a while. The first base umpire says, yeah, he went around. That didn't look any different than a couple other times. That one's low for a ball. So 1-1 count on the shortstop for the Buffaloes, the senior from Memphis, Texas. Right down 287. That pitch bounces at the plate in front of him. So 2 balls and a strike. Farrell settles in, batting from the right side. Bit of an open stance. Pitches, oh man, way outside, but he called that a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. So 2-2 count. Kix is going to choke up, protect home plate. Sends this one down the right field line, fouling out of play. Curtis. Curtis and Reese Miller both have really pitched good ball games today. Each has had one bad inning so far, and that just misses outside. So that runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That looked like about the same pitch as strike 2 was, but nevertheless. And that's going to be fouled off at the plate. A young man there by the fence, and it was right in front of him and didn't get him, but it's one of those that's an attention getter. So 3-2 pitch from John Curtis on the way. Sent right back up the middle for a base hit, and so Kix Farrell will get aboard with a single. And we go to the top of the order, Mike Mineta. Mineta flew out to left field his last at bat, grounded out to first base. He's 0 for 2 at the plate today. Mineta batting from the left side. Farrell with good speed takes his lead off the bag at first. Here's a quick throw over there just to keep him close. Let him know that he's aware that the base runner is there. 3-2 our score. Off-speed pitch is high for Mike Mineta. So a 1-0 count on the leadoff man for the Buffaloes. Crowd continues to come in for this one. That's going to be popped up and out in shallow left field, and giving chase coming on as the left fielder. And he's able to pull that one in. Jacob King gets Mineta on a fly out to left once again for out number 3. So no runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We have played 5 complete, 3-2. Rattlers with the lead. We'll take a timeout, be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Well, we go to the top of the sixth inning, and it'll be Easton Parrish to lead things off, followed by Rudy Solis and Jake Elizondo, the 5, 6, and 7 batters in the lineup as Easton looks at strike one. Easton, who has grounded out and singled and scored back in the second, looks at strike two, and the catcher doesn't believe that one. So he's down in the count 0-2 to Reese Miller. Reese working his sixth inning. That one misses for a ball. Again, a good pitching matchup between Reese Miller and John Curtis today. Miller comes home with it. Curveball just a bit outside. He upset with himself because he had that breaking the way he wanted to. Instead, it turns into ball two, so a 2-2 count on the catcher for the Rattlers. Miller comes home with it, and that broke just a little too low, so full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 our score. St. Mary's with the 1-run lead. They got 3 in the second. Buffs got 2 in the fourth. Here's a wrapped one out to Eddie Savoy, who underhands it over to Miller in time for the putout. I think Miller got his foot stepped on. And so Parrish is retired 3-1 for out number 1. Nice play by Eddie Savoy. And again, that's why this lineup is different for the Buffaloes in this contest, with Savoy at first, Mineta at second, and kicks Farrell at short. That's fouled off. Good curveball that Solis was able to foul off. Rudy was hit by a pitch and scored back in the second. He grounded out in the fourth inning. So he's 0 for 1 at the plate. And that one, they say, hit him too, and so he'll head to first base as he's hit by a pitch for the second time in the ball game. Yep, and that one got his left arm. I was looking to see if that's the case, but it was. For Solis, he's been hit 7 times, the most of, well, I say that, Brian McGowan's been hit the most of anybody on the Rattlers. He's been hit 10 times, and now Rudy Solis has been hit 9 times, 2 in this game. He takes his lead at first base. So Jake Elizondo looks at a ball 2. So Elizondo ahead in the count. Adam Becker playing in right at the edge of the grass at third. Everybody else back at double play depth. Quick throw to first. Ooh, that was close. Nice play by Eddie Savoy. So Elizondo settles back in, ready to go. Another quick throw to first. Trying to make sure that Solis knows that Reese Miller is familiar with him being on the base paths. There's a breaking pitch that is fouled off and out of play. So 2 balls and a strike on Jake Elizondo. Solis is 0 for 2 in stolen base attempts this year. And runner was off with that one on a hit and run. That's fouled off at the plate, so that evens the count at 2-2. So settling in, batting from the right side, Elizondo looks at ball 3. So full count on the second baseman for the Rattlers. Elizondo, the junior from San Antonio. Quick throw to first. Back diving is Solis. And Eddie Savoy kept hold of the baseball in case Solis stepped off. Miller comes home with it. Oh, got him swinging. Strikeout. Throw out. Nicely done by Evan Leibel. Reese Miller strikes out Elizondo for his 7th strikeout of the ballgame for out 2. And then Solis was off with a pitch. So strike him out, throw him out. Nice tag by Mike Mineta. And so that one is, in essence, a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We have played 5.5. 3-2 our score. We go to the bottom of the 6th. But first we'll take this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. 1 for you, 1 for him, and 1 for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
Well, John Curtis still stays on here to pitch in the 6th inning. Through 5 innings, he's allowed 2 runs on 3 hits. And he looks at Ryan Johnson to lead things off. Ryan is 0 for 1 at the plate as he looks at ball 1. Ryan got a board on an error last time. I thought it was a single and an error, but they counted it as an error. And he came around to score. Sends this one right up to Curtis, right past him for a base hit. So now that's a solid base hit for Ryan Johnson. So Ryan gets a board. And that'll bring up Adam Becker. Becker singled his last at bat. Now Will Fenning hit a double to drive in. First run of the ball game for the Buffaloes. So Becker 1 for 2 at the plate. Looks at a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Becker batting .458. That's past the catcher, so Johnson will head down to second base. When you look at the Lone Star Conference leaders, batting average, Adam Becker number 1, .458. Adam Becker slugging percentage, .829 leads the league. On base percentage, Adam is number 4 That one gets by the catcher again, and Ryan Johnson heads to third base. So 2 balls and a strike for Adam Becker, and 2 passed balls. As Ryan Johnson at third base. So he's the tying run. And I said on base percentage, Adam is fourth. Will Fenning and Mike Manetta are ahead of him at second and third. And then, of course, on base and slugging, he's number 1 in the conference. That's low for a ball. So 3 balls and a strike. And again, if you're a pitcher, this is a guy you want to be very careful with. You want to try to challenge him, but at the same time, you got to be very careful. Good breaking balls in there. And Adams upset. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This was a good pitch. Good curve on it. It's one of those where you're looking for something else. And you wanted to pull the trigger on that. So 3-2 count for Adam Becker. And that's ball 4 outside, so he'll take a walk. And I think that's the first walk of the game. That is first walk of the game for John Curtis. So they'll bring up Will Fenning, who was 1 for 2. He had a double his last at bat. Drove in a run, first run of the ball game for the Buffaloes. Breaking ball is high for ball 1. Fenning batting for the right side. Wind has really picked up from the northwest, so it's blowing out to right field. And that's popped up out into shallow center field. That's going to be trouble coming on for it and making the catch. Tagging up's Ryan Johnson. He heads back to third base. So Fenning popped that up out to Ryan McGowan. That's out number 1. This will bring up Eddie Savoy, who grounded out to the shortstop his last at bat, flew out to right field in the second. So he's 0 for 2 at the plate, but he has driven in a run. Pitch is high for a ball. Savoy, very patient at the plate. The pitch is outside for ball 2. There is action in the St. Mary's bullpen as they're getting ready. Curtis has thrown over 90 pitches. That is driven out into right center field, but McGowan comes on, and tagging up is Ryan Johnson coming home. He slides in easily for the tying run. We're tied at 3 here in the 6th. Eddie Savoy gets his second RBI of the game as he flies out to center for out number 2. And that'll bring up Evan Leibel. And again, with the wind blowing out to right now, this is kind of in Evan Leibel's wheelhouse. This is where he goes with the home run ball. That's outside for a ball. Evan's 0 for 2 at the plate. But one of those was a hard shot to the second baseman back in the second inning. Leibel looks at another pitch on the outside corner, but this time it's rung up for a strike. So 1-1 count on the Buffalo catcher. Leibel settles in, fouls this one back at us. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Becker takes his lead off the bag at first. Not much of a lead, so quick check by Curtis. That's outside for a ball. So 2-2 the count on Leibel. Leibel pops this one out into the infield, and that's going to be issue for everybody. Oh, coming on, nice play by the shortstop. It's Jake Morris who took control. First baseman, second baseman both lost it. But Evan Leibel pops up to the shortstop for out number 3. But the Buffaloes do get the tying run, 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left on base. We have played 6 complete. We go to the top of the 7th in a 3-3 ball game. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Reese Miller is out for his 7th inning of work, and you look at the fun that his little baseball game going on over in the foul territory behind right field, and good young group of youngsters out having fun on a Saturday afternoon. So Ryan Romaine will lead things off. He's 1 for 2 at the plate today. He struck out and he singled back in the 5th and was left stranded at third base. He'll be followed by Ryan McGowan and Jake Morris, 8, 9, and 1. Time is called. There's something over in, not sure what it is, but it's in the bullpen area, or to the south of the bullpen area. First pitch swinging, and that's foul. Nice hit, though, by Romaine. He'll come back and get the mat. Romaine settled back in, ready to go. Batting from the right side, down in the count, 0-1. Outside corner, they appeal, say he didn't go around, which he didn't. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Romaine batting from the right side. Freshman looks at a strike. That was a great curveball. Kind of has your knees buckling because it looks like it's coming at you, and then just breaks at the last minute from Reese Miller here in the 7th inning. Reese, 93 pitches. That's down the right field line. Foul into the bullpen for the Rattlers. So keeps the count at 1-2. Miller counts it down, comes home with it. Outside corner misses for a ball, 2-2. Miller toes the rubber again. 7th inning of work. Had a complete game last week at Oklahoma Christian. Got him swinging for strike 3. Nice pitch from Reese Miller for out number 1. That is his 8th strikeout of the ball game. And again, just a nice pitch from Miller. Good velocity, kind of dropped there at the last second and had the freshman fooled. That'll bring up Ryan McGowan. McGowan is 2 for 2 at the plate today. He has singled and then had a bunt single back in the 5th. Looks at a pitch low for a ball. Evan Leibel double punt, throwing it back to Ryan. He thought that was probably on the inside corner. This is going to be popped up out into deep center field, but Paul Whitman settles underneath it for a fly out to center for out number 2. Now we go to the top of the order. Jake Morris with 2 outs heads to the plate. 3 runs scored in the second inning for St. Mary's. 3 runs on 6 hits. That pitch is way outside for a ball, and Miller knew he kind of released that wrong. Sun comes back out. Miller settles in, ready to go. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Morris has struck out in the first, grounded out in the second, and they got a board on a bunt single in the 5th. That's inside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Got him swinging. Strike 2. So 2-2 the count on Jake Morris. Reese Miller would love nothing more than a strikeout to cap off the 7th inning. That's going to be popped up down the right field line. Will Finning gives chase. And Finning circles underneath and pulls that one in right in front of the fence for a long fly out to right field for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Will Finning gallops back in after making a nice catch in right field, and we go to the bottom of the 7th in a 3-3 ball game. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
You go to the bottom of the 7th in a 3-3 ball game. Paul Whitman will lead things off, followed by Glenn Nerona and Kix Farrell. So 7, 8, 9 in the order, facing John Curtis working here in his 7th inning of work. And Whitman pulls the bat back. He showed bunt, then pulled it back. So that's ball 1. We can see the dirt blowing now out in left field. Pulls the bat back again for ball 2. So a windy day. Now it's stirring up the dirt out in the Texas Panhandle. It's in there for a strike. So 2 balls and a strike for Paul Whitman. He has grounded out twice. 0 for 2 at the plate. Fouls that one off. So a 2-2 count on the speedy outfielder for the Buffaloes. Whitman gets told he has the 2-2 count by the home plate umpire, says yes, and so he settles back in, takes a swing, and comes up empty. It's out number 1, and that's only in fact, that's the first strikeout of the ball game for John Curtis. As Curtis got him swinging on that one. That's out number 1. That'll bring up Glenn Nerona. Nerona Batting from the left side. He's 0 for 2 at the plate today. Looks at a pitch inside for a ball. Nerona has flown out to center field and popped up to the pitcher. Get a great pitching matchup today between Reese Miller and John Curtis. That one misses for ball 2. Buffs just trying to get a base runner aboard. And a 3-3 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Scheduled to go 7, but we'll go extra if we stay this way. That one misses for ball 3. So Nerona will be taking on this pitch all the way. Curtis comes home with it. And that is low for ball 4. So that's his second walk that he's given up today. And Glenn Nerona with good speed gets aboard. That'll bring up Kix Farrell, who singled his last at bat. Kix is 1 for 2 at the plate. The wind is really picking up. It is blowing straight in from the north right now. Got the dirt blowing. First pitch swinging, and that was in shallow right field, and settling underneath is Clay Bradford. So first pitch swinging, Farrell flies out to right for out number 2. And the wind is just whipping like crazy now. Quick throw to first base. Nerona is back. So Manetta looks at ball 1. Mike has flown out twice to left field and grounded out to the first baseman. He's 0 for 3 at the plate. Sends this one in sky high out into center field, right center field, and the right fielder Clay Bradford comes on for the putout. And so that's out number 3 as the Buffaloes get no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We have played 7 complete. We're going extra innings as well. We'll go to the 8th inning and a 3-3 ball game. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is gonna be tough. I mean, that's a bag full of Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwiches with tangy buffalo sauce and creamy buttermilk ranch, melty Monterey Jack cheese, and 3 crunchy chicken strips. How long will you have to wait before you enjoy yours? Oh, about that long. Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich is back for a limited time, just like you like it.
Well, Reese Miller comes out for 8th inning of work as he gets set to continue to battle on here against the Rattlers of St. Mary's. First pitch is in there for a strike to Jacob King. So it'll be Jacob King followed by Clay Bradford and Brandon Broughton, the 2, 3, and 4 batters in the lineup, the heart of the lineup for St. Mary's, taking a swing and coming up empty. Jacob King. So he's down the count 0-2. The wind is just howling, blowing in right now. Coming in out of the northeast. That's going to be a little slow roller. And no play for Mike Manetta. Eddie Savoy went to first. I think Reese thought he was going to go for it. And instead, Manetta was playing back deep and couldn't get there. So a gift to Jacob King as he gets a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. It's the 7th hit given up by Reese Miller. That'll bring up Clay Bradford hitting from the left side. Clay struck out twice and grounded out. He's 0 for 3 at the plate today. Bradford, quick throw to first as Jacob King is back. King is 4 of 6 in the stolen base department. Takes his lead off the right-hander, Reese Miller. Bunt shown, and that's going to be fouled off at the plate. Trying to play small ball in this wind. Clay Bradford takes strike one. The wind now more out of the northeast, blowing right into the batter's face. Bunts pop straight up, and Reese Miller will make the put out. And so Clay Bradford pops up to the pitcher for out number 1. And that'll bring up Brandon Broughton, who is 0 for 2 at the plate. He's also walked and scored a run. Broughton batting from the right side, again facing Miller, working here in the 8th inning. Neither team has gone to their bullpen in this game so far. Good curveball in there for a strike. Good all-speed pitch. Kind of freezes you from the right side. Miller, quick throw to first. And I think both coaches are looking at it from their starters. They've had great outings from both John Curtis and Reese Miller, and you don't want either one of them to lose in this game today in the 3-3 contest. Miller's been battling. Reese comes home with it, and that's drilled down the left field line, fouling out of play. So no 2 count. So Broughton looks at the umpire and says, am I down in the count 0-2? And he shakes his head yes. So he's going to choke up a bit. Oh, and that one just misses. Yeah, Evan thought it was a strike. He almost got up. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brandon Broughton. Broughton batting from the right side. Quick throw to first, diving back. Oh, that got away from Savoy, but he ran it down quickly. Nicely done by Eddie. I think it might have hit Jacob King. His glove might have hit Jacob King, and that's why it popped out. Miller. Oh, breaking ball, but that was inside too much. So 2-2 the count for the cleanup batter for the Rattlers. Brandon batting from the right side. That one misses. They check and say he didn't go around. I don't know. That looked very similar to the one they called him Kicks Farrell a while ago. So runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. This is going to be driven out into left field. Ryan Johnson will get underneath. Circles under, pulls that one in, and then gets it back into the infield. So Brown flies out to Ryan. That's his first put out of the day. The way the wind's blowing, nobody's gone in that direction. So 2 outs, and that'll bring up Easton Parrish. Easton, who is 1 for 3 at the plate today. He also scored a run back in the 2nd inning. Looks at the ball. Easton from La Vernia, Texas, played at Panola Junior College. The 6', 190-pound junior batting from the left side. Outside corner got him in there for a strike. So 1-1 the count. Easton settles in. Jacob King takes his lead off the bag at first. Quick throw over there. Miller working here in the 8th inning. Already 115 pitches for Miller. Fouled off at the plate. So Parrish with a 1-2 count. Junior settles back in. Ready to go from the left side. King takes his lead off the bag at first. Miller checks him and comes home with it. That's high for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Trying to get Parrish to swing at a high pitch, about at the numbers. But he laid off of that one. It's hard to get a catcher a lot of times to bite on those pitches just because they see so many. Runner off on that, and that's going to be a hit. They call that a foul ball. He called it a foul ball at home plate. Yeah, okay. I was going to say, that's what Kix Farrell was saying. That was foul. So too did Adam Becker. That one was right down the line, but it bounced foul. So everybody returns. So it keeps the count at 2-2 for Easton Parrish. Reese Miller licks the fingers, wipes them on the pants, and then grabs the baseball. He gets set, ready to go. Working here in the 8th inning, time called. He checks with Evan Leibel, wants to reshuffle in the pitches once again. Everybody's on the same page. Checks the runner at first. Miller comes home with it. Got him swinging up the middle, and it's going to be a base hit. So Whitman gets it in quickly to Adam Becker at third base. So a single for Parrish has runners aboard at first and second here in the top of the 8th in a 3-3 ball game. That'll bring up Rudy Solis, who's been hit by pitches twice in this game and grounded out. So the senior settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Inches back a little deeper in the box than he usually does. First pitch is low for a ball, to say he did not go around. Miller, 122nd pitch coming right here. That's going to be a little liner out into right field, but right at Will Finning for out number 3 as Solis flies out to right for the third out. No runs on a couple of hits. There were no errors and 2 left on base. We have played 7.5 in the 3-3 ball game. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
And get helped, get fitted, and get your questions answered, and find out about our price matching online today.
Well, welcome back. We're in a 3-3 ball game in extra innings. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. John Curtis comes out for his 8th inning of work. And Curtis has allowed 3 runs on 4 hits, while Reese Miller has allowed 3 runs on 8 hits. Both trying to get the complete game win here. And so for Curtis to do so, he's got to go through Ryan Johnson, Adam Becker, and Will Fenning, 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order for the Buffaloes. Johnson, who is 1 for 3 at the plate, looks at a pitch outside for a ball. And I'll just say I disagree with the official scorer. I think Ryan should be 2 for 3 at the plate with an error that allowed him to go to second base. Here's a shot down to the shortstop on in time. Nice play. Good pickup by Jake Morris as Ryan is retired. 6-3 for out number 1. Adam Becker will head to the plate. Becker is 1 for 2 at the plate today. Walked his last at bat. Umpire calls time because of the blowing dirt. Got some dust in his eyes. It's tough out there with the wind blowing in. So the umpire says, I'm ready. Adam Becker says, I'm ready. John Curtis gets set to come home with it. Strike on the outside corner. Becker settles in, ready to go. Drives it down the third base line, fouling out of play. So Adams down in the count 0-2 here in the top or the bottom of the 8th inning. Curtis, his 110th pitch. It's outside for a ball that kind of handcuffed his catcher a little bit. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Adam Becker, hitting .458, tops in the LSC. Drives it down the right field line, but that's going to be fouling out of play into the bullpen area for the Rattlers. They do have somebody up, but I think it's really more preparation for the second game than it is for this one. This is for John Curtis right now, going the complete game as well. That's out into right center field, giving chase. That one's going to fall in as Adam Becker will head on over to second base with a double. So 1 aboard for the Buffaloes. You can see Adam Becker's excited, pumping his fist in the air after he got a hold of that one. He knows John Curtis is a tough pitcher. So he's got 2 of the 5 hits today against John. So that'll bring up Will Fenning, who is 1 for 3 at the plate today. He doubled and has flown out twice. Time is called. And before that, they're going to have a visit on the mound with John Curtis. Curtis has thrown 114 pitches so far. I think they're going to have a discussion more than going to the bullpen. Just want to make sure John is feeling good and not being fatigued. We'd like to recognize Lions Realty as a proud partner of WT Athletics. Give them a call at 806-358-3900. Lions Realty, official realtor of WT Athletics. And we'd like to thank Kenny Dean State Farm for being a proud partner of WT Athletics. For great service, great rates, call Kenny Dean State Farm. And we'd like to thank Jimmy Fincher Body Shop for their support of WT Athletics. Equally skilled at repairing damages or customizing your vehicle. Jimmy Fincher is your top Amarillo auto body shop. So Curtis stays in there, gets set to face Will Fenning. Or check it, Eddie Savoy, sorry. As they went ahead and walked Fenning. So he got the voluntary pass. That's technically the third walk by John Curtis. So runners at first and second for Eddie Savoy. Eddie looks at strike one as a 1-1 count. Eddie flew out to center field his last at bat. He is 0 for 3 at the plate. Drives it down the third base line, fouling out of play. So Eddie down in the count, 1-2. After Savoy will be Evan Leibel. So 1 out, 2 aboard for the Buffaloes here in the bottom of the 8th. Savoy sends that to the shortstop, underhands it on 1, over to first base in time for 2. So Eddie Savoy hits in a 6-4-3 double play. And that ends the inning for the Buffaloes, who get no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left on base. We have played 8 complete. We go to the 9th. Tied at 3. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons. We live for this.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Well, Tyler Cornett comes on to pitch hit for, or I should say not pitch hit, to come in to pitch for Reese Miller. Reese goes 8 innings. He allows 3 runs on 8 hits. He walked 1, struck out 8. He hit 2 batters, actually the same batter, Ruby Solis, twice. Tyler Cornett comes in with a 1-1 record. He has 6 saves on the season. He's pitched in 20 innings, 23 hits. 16 runs, 13 of those earned. He's walked 10, struck out 26. Tyler, the senior from Shallowater, Texas, played at Cameron before coming to WT. He is usually in the last inning circumstance, and so Reese went 8. And so Tyler comes in here to pitch in the 9th inning. And so for the Rattlers, it should be their 7th, 8th, and the 9th batters. We'll see who it is. Jake Elizondo comes up, the second baseman. Jake has struck out twice and singled once. He's 1 for 3 at the plate today with a .257 batting average. Facing Tyler Cornett for the first time. Tyler, who has a lot of power, throws strike 1. Cornett checks the wristband. This is going to be hit to Manetta over to first base, and Eddie Savoy makes the put out. So 4-3 for Jake Elizondo for out number 1. Ryan Romaine will come up, the freshman from San Antonio Johnson High School, batting for the right side. He is 1 for 3 at the plate. First pitch is in there for a strike. He struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 7th, and singled in the 5th. That's just a little high, I guess, for ball 1. Not sure. That looked pretty good. So 1-1 count from Tyler Cornett. Senior right-hander gets set to come home with it. That's fouled off at the plate. So a 1-2 count for Ryan Romaine. And that's going to be lobbed out into left field, and that's going to be a base hit. So Romaine has his second hit of the ball game as he singles. So base runner aboard as Tyler Cornett gives up the hit. And that'll bring Ryan McGowan coming up to the plate. McGowan batting from the right side as Romaine takes his lead. They try to bunt it down to first, so Eddie Savoy steps on the bag, and so that'll be out number 2. McGowan just bunted it too hard. So sacrifice, he's retired. 1 unassisted, or 3 unassisted for out number 2, but it does get Romaine in scoring position. And we go to the top of the order, and Jake Morris comes up. Morris was 1 for 4 at the plate today. Had that bunt single back in the 5th. Sends this one over to Kix Farrell on in time to first. Nice play by Kix Farrell. And so Morris is retired 6-3 for out number 3. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. So we go to the bottom of the 9th inning in a 3-3 ball game. And we'll see what takes place and who's coming out to pitch for St. Mary's. We'll take a break and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. Help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Well, John Curtis comes out for his 9th inning of work. And so Curtis, who has allowed 3 runs on 5 hits, gets set to face Evan Leibel. Leibel is 0 for 3 at the plate today. First pitch swinging, fouls it off and out of play. Leibel batting .279. Made contact with the ball all 3 times. And got a strike there on the outside corner. So he's down in the count 0-2 to Curtis, who has pitched his 120th pitch of the ball game. That's going to be high for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leibel settles in, batting from the left side. The junior from California looks at a pitch on the outside corner for ball 2. So 2-2 the count for the catcher for the Buffaloes. Came to this program from the University of Oklahoma. Sends this one down the first base line, but fouling out of play. So Leibel settles back in, batting from the left side, ready to go. Paul Whitman in the on-deck circle. And Leibel looks back at the umpire, and he says, "You haven't called that all day." And now they're going to have a lot of discussion on this one, as Leibel And the umpire says, I've called that all day. And Matt Vandenberg says you have not called that all day. And that one is low for Paul Whitman for a ball. So liable a strikeout victim for John Curtis, only his second of the ball game. There's a strike, and now a warning to the bench. So 1-1 count as the umpire writes down that he has given a warning to the bench area to Matt Vandenberg. Whitman settles back in, ready to go. Inside for a ball. Paul takes a cut, comes up empty, so a good off-speed pitch from Curtis. Whitman was a strikeout victim, the first of the ball game for Curtis. Sends this one to the second baseman on 2 hops. He throws out Paul Whitman 4-3 for out number 2. And that'll bring up Glenn Nerona. Nerona batting from the left side. He is 0 for 2 at the plate. He walked his last at bat. And they say he offered on a bunt. So no 1 count on the sophomore from Calgary. And that got the outside corner for strike 2. So 0-2 as Curtis is cruising here in the 9th. 132 pitches so far. That's outside for a ball. Ninth inning in a 3-3 ball game here in game number 1 of 2. And swinging, Nerona is out on strikes. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Curtis, who seems to be getting stronger. It's his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors, and you see the strikeout right there for Nerona. And so we go to the top of the 10th in a 3-3 contest. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to MediDrive Pharmacy. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to console you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly professional service and the highest quality of medicine and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your health care needs.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Well, welcome back. You see home plate umpire Doug McClure writing some notes. He just tossed Matt Vandenberg in between innings as Matt came out and was arguing again about that strike with Evan Leibel, that it was high and way inside, that he hasn't called all game. And the umpire defending himself said, I have called that all game. Well, he really hasn't. Matt had a point. And first pitch swinging for a base hit is Jacob King on for the second time. He was 0 for 3, and then his last 2 at-bats, he's had a single, so he gets aboard a leadoff single off Tyler Cornett here in the 10th inning. So it's Clay Bradford up for St. Mary's, and Corey King now acting as the head coach for the Buffaloes, as Matt Vanderberg was tossed. And swinging is Bradford. So 1-1 count on the power hitting right fielder. He is 0 for 4 at the plate today. That one misses inside. The wind has died down. Not as bad as it was. So 2 balls and a strike for Bradford, with 1 aboard and Jacob King here at the top of the 10th inning. That one's low for a ball, so 3 balls and a strike now from Tyler Cornett. Cornett checks the runner at first, comes home with it, and that is right back up at him. And that's going to be a seeing eye single. That gets by everybody. So Bradford has his first hit of the ball game. Has runners at first and second. That one went off of Cornett, then snuck between both Kix Farrell and Mike Mineta, just over the bag at second base. And that'll bring up Brandon Broughton, the cleanup batter for St. Mary's. Brandon's 0 for 3 at the plate today, but he did walk in the second and scored. Shows bunt. So a 1-0 count for Broughton. Shows bunt once again. And that one is going to go foul. And so that's a strike. So a 1-1 count on the cleanup batter. Cornett checks the runner at second, comes home with it. That one misses for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Top of the 10th inning, 3-3 ball game, 3 runs, 11 hits for St. Mary's in an error. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Buffaloes. Again, the wind blowing in. No big sticks for the Buffaloes today. That one's going to be fouled off at the plate for strike 2. So Broughton will get set to swing away against Cornett. Don't anticipate a bunt here with 2 strikes. That's high for a ball. So count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Easton Parrish in the on-deck circle. 2 runners aboard. Bradford at first, Jacob King at second. Cornett gets set to come home with it. And this one has popped up to Cornett over to first in time for getting Brown, but he does advance the runners. It's similar to a bunt. So he's retired 1-3 for out number 1, but Bradford advances to second and King on to third for Easton Parrish. Parrish is 2 for 4 at the plate today. Parrish batting from the left side, singled his last at bat. Looks at ball 1. King taking an extended leave at third base, then retreats back. Infield is in, trying to protect the run, trying to protect home plate. And that's fouled off at the plate. So that evens the count at 1-1. Rudy Solis in the on-deck circle. 10th inning, 3-3 ball game. First of 2 today. Parrish settles in, ready to go. That's high for ball 2. Tyler Cornett trying to work out of a jam with runners at second and third and only one out here in the 10th. Is action in the WT bullpen area, looks like. That's going to be hit. Cornett comes home with it, makes a bad throw, and not in time. That was a terrible throw from Cornett. He was ranging to his right, but just couldn't get anything to trying to get it to Evan, and so the run comes home to score. And now St. Mary's has the 4-3 lead here in the 10th as Parrish gets aboard on a single, really a fielder's choice. Drives in a run. Yeah, they're going to call that a fielder's choice. They're not going to give him a hit on that. And the runner's tagged out trying to come home. That was Bradford. That's out number 2 on a bunt from Rudy Solis. So Bradford is out, tagged out at home. 1-2 for out number 2. So runners at first and second now. Parrish and Solis at first, Parrish at second for Jake Elizondo. Takes a swing, comes up empty. So Elizondo settles in. He is 1 for 4 at the plate today. Got a strike on the outside corner. So the 0-2 pitch from Tyler Cornett. Swung on, hit up to second base, and time for the Kicks Farrell to pick it up and step on the bag at second for the force out. And so that ends the top of the 10th, but St. Mary's gets a run on 3 hits. There were no errors in the inning and 2 left on base. So we played 9.5. We go to the bottom of the 10th. The Buffs trail 4-3. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Buffs!
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 10th inning, and John Kurtz comes out for his 10th inning of work with a 4-3 lead now after the Rattlers got a run on 2 hits in the 10th inning. Take the 4-3 lead. Cam Loy comes out as a pitch hitter for Kicks Farrell. Loy. The junior from Mansfield. Usually plays in the DH role. Come on to pitch hit for Kicks Farrell here, then top of the order for the Buffaloes. That's going to be outside for a ball. Again, John Curtis on in his 10th inning of work. He's pitched 135 pitches. That's fouled off at the plate. So 1-1 count for Cameron Loy. Cam settles in, batting from the left side. Sends this one foul again, so he's down on the count 1-2. Bottom of the 10th inning, Buffs trail by 1, 4-3. That's outside for a ball. There is action in the St. Mary's bullpen, and again with Curtis going 10 innings now, they haven't had to go to their bullpen at all. That's fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 2-2. Loy settles in, ready to go. Fouls this one off at the plate. Loy settles back in. Buffs trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 10th against this pitcher who has been phenomenal. Oh, and he called the same strike before, and Cameron Loy is out on strikes. And again, this is the same pitch, inside corner, high and inside. That's even off the plate. But he called it before. That's what got Matt Vanderberg rung up. And so that is out number 1. Calls a strike inside. Manetta settles in, ready to go. Calling that strike 2, say he went around on that one. So 0-2 count on the leadoff man for the Buffaloes. That's going to be hit back up the middle. Slow roller picked up by the shortstop, on in time for the putout at first base. So Manetta is retired. 6-3 for out number 2. Now comes down to Ryan Johnson. Johnson is 1 for 4 at the plate today. Ryan settles in, batting from the right side. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. Curtis comes home with it. That one misses for a ball. There's a strike on the outside corner, off-speed pitch. Ryan down to his last strike here in game 1. That one's outside for a ball. So 2-2 count on the Buffalo left fielder. Senior from Albuquerque settles back in, ready to go. Just trying to get on base for the Buffs. And takes a swing, and Curtis gets the win as he strikes out Ryan Johnson for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody on base, and there Curtis goes 10 innings and picks up the win to improve to 3-4 on the season as St. Mary's wins game 2, 4-3. We'll take a timeout and come back and wrap things up, but first this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie side,
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Well, St. Mary's wins game 1 of the 2 games slated for today, 4-3, 4 runs on 11 hits, 1 error for the Rattlers, 3 runs on 5 hits, and 1 error for the Buffaloes. John Curtis picks up the win to improve to 3-4 on the season as he goes 10 innings, and he allows 3 runs on 5 hits. He's walked 3, struck out 5, but what's interesting is he didn't have his first strikeout to the 7th inning. When he got Paul Whitman, got 2 strikeouts in the 9th, and then got 2 strikeouts here in the 10th. So, as mentioned, it seemed to get stronger as the game went along. Loss goes to Tyler Cornett. He falls to 1-2 on the season. And so we got game 2 coming up next, of course. And so we'll take a time out for a bit and then be back with our second contest here from Wilder Park. Thanks to the Thunder Vision crew for bringing the pictures for this one today.